This bunker complex was built by the same company that also built Hitler's bunkers.
What if I told you that beneath the peaceful forests of Europe, history's most terrifying secrets are still waiting to be uncovered? Just last month, archaeologists made a discovery so disturbing that seasoned experts literally turned pale when they saw what was hidden inside a forgotten Nazi bunker. But this revelation is just the tip of the iceberg.
This is his actual bunker. It's just so monumentally huge, gigantic.
What secrets still echo through their rusting gates?
Today, we're diving deep into the most shocking World War II bunker discoveries that have rewritten history books and left investigators questioning everything they thought they knew about the war's darkest chapters. The horrifying discovery at Wolf's Lair, deep within Poland's dense woodlands, where shadows seem to whisper forgotten secrets, stands the remnants of Hitler's most infamous stronghold, the Wolf's Lair. This heavily fortified complex served as the Nazi leader's Eastern Front headquarters, a place where some of history's most devastating military decisions were made. For decades, historians believed they had uncovered all of the site's secrets. They were devastatingly wrong. In a recent excavation beneath what was once Hermann Göring's personal residence, a Polish-German archaeological team made a discovery that sent shockwaves through the historical community. The team, known as Fundacja Latebra, had been conducting routine searches for buried structural remains when their metal detectors picked up something unusual just 10 centimeters below the surface. What they unearthed defied all expectations and challenged everything we thought we knew about this notorious location. 5 complete human skeletons lay arranged in an eerily deliberate pattern, all facing the same direction. But the most disturbing aspect wasn't their positioning, it was what was missing. Every single skeleton had been stripped of hands and feet. The remains belonged to 3 adults, 1 teenager, and heartbreakingly, a newborn child. All had been stripped of clothing and personal belongings, their identities erased along with their extremities. Forensic experts are now racing to determine whether these victims were executed during the war or buried there during the chaotic aftermath. But preliminary evidence suggests something far more sinister than a simple wartime casualty. The deliberate nature of the mutilation has experts questioning whether they've stumbled upon evidence of previously unknown Nazi medical experiments or ritual executions. The mystery deepens when you consider that this discovery was made directly beneath Göring's former quarters, suggesting high-level knowledge of whatever horrific events took place here. The underground fortress that never fired a shot. Moving from the forests of Poland to the chalk hills of northern France, we encounter another chilling reminder of Nazi ambition, the Mimoyex Fortress. This massive underground complex was designed to house Hitler's most devastating secret weapon, the V3 supergun, a revolutionary artillery piece capable of bombarding London with hundreds of explosive projectiles every single hour. The engineering marvel consisted of 5 massive inclined shafts, each designed to hold a series of long-barreled cannons aimed directly at Britain's capital. If completed, this doomsday weapon could have changed the entire course of the war, turning London into a constant battlefield and potentially forcing Britain's surrender. Construction relied heavily on forced labor, with thousands of prisoners digging deep into the rock under horrific conditions. Many never saw daylight again, their lives sacrificed to build what was meant to be an unstoppable weapon of mass destruction. Allied intelligence initially had no idea what was being constructed beneath the French countryside. Aerial reconnaissance suggested it was another V2 launch site, leading to relentless bombing campaigns that began in late 1943. These raids slowed construction significantly, but the final blow came in July 1944 when the RAF's legendary 617 Squadron deployed their devastating Tallboy earthquake bombs. The massive explosions collapsed entire tunnel sections, burying hundreds of workers alive and ensuring that this terrifying weapon would never fulfill its deadly purpose. When Canadian forces finally reached the site in September 1944, they found nothing but abandoned ruins and the ghostly remnants of Hitler's most ambitious military project. The submarine graveyard beneath Hamburg. Perhaps one of the most haunting discoveries lies beneath the bustling streets of Hamburg, where the Elba II U-boat bunker tells a story of desperation and destruction. Built in 1940 as a fortified naval facility, this massive structure was designed to shelter and maintain Germany's most advanced submarines along the Elbe River. The bunker featured two enormous pens, each measuring 112 meters long and 22 meters wide, providing enough space to house multiple U-boats for outfitting and repairs. Despite repeated Allied bombing campaigns, the reinforced structure remained largely intact, allowing Germany's cutting-edge Type 21 submarines to take refuge within its protective walls. As defeat became inevitable in early 1945, the remaining German crew faced an impossible decision. Rather than allow their advanced submarines to fall into enemy hands, explosives were carefully placed inside each vessel on May 2, 1945. The detonations were timed to ensure complete destruction, turning the bunker into an underwater graveyard. British forces later demolished the bunker itself, collapsing the massive roof and sealing the destroyed submarines beneath tons of concrete and steel. Salvage attempts in the late 1940s proved too dangerous and were quickly abandoned, leaving the technological marvels to rust in their concrete tomb. The site was rediscovered in 1985, revealing the ghostly outlines of submarines still trapped beneath the rubble. However, by the 1990s, the German government deemed the location too hazardous for exploration and permanently sealed it with additional concrete and gravel. Today, this underwater cemetery lies hidden beneath an ordinary parking lot, its secrets buried forever beneath modern Hamburg. The frozen command center of the Cold War. Not all bunker discoveries relate to World War II. Beneath a modest house in Kemmel, Belgium, lies one of the Cold War's most secretive installations, a top-secret NATO command bunker that remained classified for over 4 decades. Built between 1952 and 1956, this underground fortress was designed as the nerve center for Western Europe's air defense system, prepared to coordinate operations against a potential Soviet invasion. Buried 15 meters underground, the bunker measures 30 by 30 meters, with walls 2 meters thick and a copper Faraday cage to protect against electromagnetic interference. The heart of the complex was its 2-level operations room, lined with massive maps of Europe and surrounded by offices for military strategists. The facility could house up to 600 personnel working in rotating shifts, training constantly for nuclear conflict scenarios that thankfully never materialized. Despite being declassified after the Cold War ended, the bunker remained largely unknown to the public until it was restored and opened as a museum in 2010. Visitors can now explore its original equipment, Cold War-era maps and communication systems that once stood ready to coordinate Western Europe's defense against Soviet aggression. The concrete nightmare of forced labor. On the French coast near Saint-Omer stands La Coupole, an enormous dome-shaped bunker that represents one of Nazi Germany's most ambitious and horrifying construction projects. Built in 1943 as a launch facility for the revolutionary V-2 rocket, this virtually indestructible structure was designed to rain supersonic death upon London and other Allied cities. Constructed from reinforced concrete and integrated into a former quarry, the dome was engineered to withstand the heaviest Allied bombardments. Despite repeated bombing raids, the structure remained intact, testament to both German engineering prowess and the thousands of lives sacrificed during its construction. The human cost of building La Coupole was staggering. Forced laborers, prisoners of war, and civilians from occupied territories were worked to death under brutal conditions. Russian prisoners faced particularly deadly treatment, with many perishing before the site was even operational. Beneath the massive dome, an extensive network of underground tunnels and storage chambers was designed to function as a completely self-sufficient rocket base. Today, this haunting structure serves as both a historical museum and a stark reminder of the intersection between technological progress and human suffering. The final refuge. Our journey through these forgotten fortresses concludes with perhaps the most significant bunker discovery of all, the Führer bunker beneath Berlin. This underground fortress served as Hitler's final refuge during the last desperate months of World War II. Hidden 28 feet below the Reich Chancellery, the bunker's 17 reinforced rooms included Hitler's private quarters, conference halls, and ventilation systems designed to withstand the heaviest Allied bombardments. In January 1945, As Soviet forces encircled Berlin, Hitler retreated underground with his closest associates for the final act of Nazi Germany. The bunker was heavily fortified with 13 feet of concrete, creating a temporary illusion of security. Expensive carpets, artwork stolen from across Europe, and Hitler's cherished portrait of Frederick the Great adorned the dimly lit corridors, but nothing could mask the impending doom closing in from above. On April 30th, 1945, Hitler and Eva Braun took their own lives within these walls, followed by Joseph Goebbels and his family the next day. After the war, Soviet forces leveled the chancellery and deliberately buried the bunker, wanting to erase any trace of Nazi legacy. Unlike other historical sites, no effort was made to preserve the Führer bunker. It remained sealed and unmarked until 2006, when a discreet plaque was finally placed at the location, now an ordinary parking lot in modern Berlin. These discoveries remind us that history's darkest chapters often remain hidden just beneath our feet, waiting to be uncovered by the next generation of archaeologists and historians. Each bunker tells a story of human ambition, technological innovation, and the devastating costs of war. From the mutilated remains at Wolf's Lair to the submarine graveyard beneath Hamburg, these forgotten fortresses continue to reveal secrets that challenge our understanding of World War II and its aftermath. As excavation technology advances and new sites are discovered, we can only wonder what other shocking revelations await us in the shadows of history. If you found these discoveries as fascinating and disturbing as we did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible historical revelations. History's greatest mysteries are still being solved, and you won't want to miss what we uncover next. We uncover next.